Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Soss MDHCUS26D HS magnetic door holder and stop MDHC series US26D HS in a satin chrome finish. This is what it looks like when it arrives. It's going to arrive to you in this package. So this is a door holder is what it is, in essence. And let's dissect the part number first. MDH means magnetic door holder, and that's Soss's part number for what this is. Okay. The C in the part number, that means that the item is going to come packaged down to a piece of cardboard. That's just what it means. Carded. The US26D is a reference to the finish. That means that this is satin chrome. Okay. Now, the dash HS in the part number, that means that this is a high strength item. High strength, high hold. This has 12.5 pounds of pressure that's required to pull it apart. And while it doesn't look like it takes a lot of pressure to pull it off, it really does. You can tell noticeably that you really have to pull on it to get it to break. Now, where would you use that? You're going to use it maybe if you've got a door closer. Maybe not all door closers, but certainly a handicap compliant door closer that has a reduced opening force to begin with. Closing force is what I mean to say, a reduced closing force as well as an opening force. That will be well below 12.5 pounds of pressure. You might also use this just where you've got a windy condition, where you've got a situation that I've had people buy this because their 90-pound dog knocks it closed, and this gives them the ability to, to not have the dog unintentionally close the door behind them, but they need something a little bit stronger than the standard item. They don't want to hook. They want to just be able to tug the door and pull it closed. A variety of instances is where you'll use a high-strength version of this. It's available in all the common finishes: your brass, your bronze, your chromes, nickel, polished satin, oil-rubbed bronze as well. Let's go over the extended description. Sturdy, practical, and easy to install. The Soss magnetic door holder and stop, it's a stop as well, holds doors open even in a heavy wind. Mount either vertically to the floor or horizontally to the baseboard or the wall. Soss magnetic door holders have a magnetic holding power of 12.5 pounds when properly installed. That means that you need to make full contact with this, not some obtuse sort of angle that would significantly limit its ability to hold the door open. So, versatile, they said. That's true. You can put that down to the floor if you like. You can put that to the wall. You can put it to the door. Okay? You can take the other portion and mount it anywhere that you like. Generally, you're going to see this on the floor or on the wall, and you will generally see this on the door. Now, where it becomes a stop is because the magnetic button here is spring-loaded behind this cap, and I don't know that I can easily rotate that off. Not that it's not easy to rotate off, but there's a stick around the back of it. And I won't spend too much time with this. Yeah, I would need to... Let's do it. There we go. So what you've got there is a threaded cap. Inside of it is the spring. And that's where that tip becomes a stop, because it has that spring and allows it to behave as a stop, where there's a little bit of give and go there before it actually stops the door. You're not making a hard stop with this. Now, there's a couple of links. There's a link below this video to the document called Cut Sheet, and that's very handy because it allows you to review this item in a sales catalog sort of perspective. However, it focuses on the dimensional properties of the item, and let's go over some of those right now. Here we go. So I'll hold it upside down. It'll be a little bit easier to measure. It's 2 3/4 is the overall height. It's a bit high on that. Closer to 3 inch. That's the bottom line. Diameter of the base, 1 3/4. Yeah, it's a little shy on that. 1 11/16. You can get an idea of where that center line is. About 2.5 inch. Then, when you bring the door holder into it, or the stop portion, yeah, they're going to come at 3 and 13/30 seconds. I expect that to be wrong as well. Yep, closer to 3 3/4, something in that range. Okay. So the document called cut sheet is really more a template, is what I would call it, or a technical drawing. Then, moving on forward, we have a link to the instructions. And the instructions are nothing other than a scan of the card, of the back of the card, which goes over all the important details in terms of installation. Choose the preferred mounting position for the door holder. Just determine what's best. Line up the fittings with both the door and anchor point. Do this with the door fitting and anchor fitting joined by the magnet, and mark the position with a pencil. So your door fitting and then your anchor plate, that's the plate that is threaded. A couple of holes there. Next I'm going to show you the screw package that is included. You're going to get screws to hold the door fitting onto the door. Plastic anchors are there as well, and you're going to see a total of 5 screws. You're going to need 3 for down here, 2 for here. You'll have 3 plastic anchors. That's for the bottom of this. You're also going to get a hex head sleeve anchor, is what that is. Now, here's the deal. There's a hex cap screw here that I am unable to rotate by hand. I'm going to pause this video and get the wrench. Now we've made that screw yield to us, so that's a hex cap screw. We're just going to remove that from the base. Then when that plate comes out, okay, you can take that sleeve that hex head sleeve anchor and put it right down into the threaded portion here, and then literally use that as your method of anchoring. And if you're going into a concrete floor, that sleeve anchor is going to be really the preferred way to go. First of all, it's a single hole that you'll have to drill rather than 3. Second, it will give you far greater holding power than those plastic anchors. That's just the bottom line. The installation instructions call out specific steps for that, however. So, using screws supplied or other anchoring device appropriate for your application, secure the anchor fitting and door fitting to their marked locations. Now, mounting in concrete, drill the 5/16 by 1 5/8 hole into the concrete. 5/16 diameter, 1 5/8 hole. Tighten the washer and nut against the expanding liner, and that's just a description of how a sleeve anchor works. Using a wrench, you will need 1/2 to 3/4 of the threaded stud above the floor in order to get it down into here. Thread the door stop onto the stud. It may be necessary to remove the nut to attain a proper fit. You might have to, once that nut, you turn it clockwise, you're going to draw this expanded portion up into the sleeve, and that's really what the anchor is going to be. You might actually have to remove that nut in order to get that threaded all the way down. Not a big deal in that regard. And that really is the balance of the installation instructions. Again, 2 screws here, 3 here should you need, otherwise you're going to use that sleeve anchor. Okay. Now the name Soss certainly is synonymous with magnetic door holders. If it's an MDH, I know it's a Soss. Nifty little item that they sell, and it's used in a lot of applications. But really, what Soss is synonymous with, the name itself, is concealed hinges. Their line of Soss hinges is really what they're most notorious for. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full line product catalog. And from that manufacturer's page, you can pull up that full line product catalog of the Soss hinge. The thing to know about Soss hinges is, and if you're already familiar with them, you probably know them because they're concealed. You don't see them at all when the door is closed. They're very elegant. They are, and what you may not know is Soss hinges are incredibly capable of handling a serious amount of weight. There is somewhere in here a blurb that says something to the fact that You need to hang a real heavy door, just keep adding Soss hinges. You get into that 218 or 220 size Soss hinge, and there's a weight rating chart that's in there. I have personally hung 300-pound doors with 4 of these Soss hinges. No problem at all. A really great hinge. They have fire-rated applications of their hinges. They have applications of their hinges from tiny little wood cabinet doors to metal cabinet doors, all the way up to, you know, very large doors. People like them because they're concealed primarily, but also because they can do something concealed and a closer. Soss has their 218 IC. Well, they've got it in 3 sizes: the 216, the 218, and the 220. And that's a closer. It's got a large spring inside of it that allows you to, in a very concealed fashion, not only hang the door but close it as well. So the link below this video to the manufacturer's page will allow you to review all of the Soss products, not only the MDH, but the Soss hinge itself. Their barrel hinges are fairly common, and then they have some other very neat things in there that you might find of reference as well. The chart, at least on this current manufacturer's catalog, is quite near the bottom for the weight rating. And there is a door width. There's a door width column. Then there is a weight column, and then you connect those two together and run that line horizontally. The weight, the lights just went off here. The weight column lists from 10 to 500-pound doors. That's just, it's outrageous. It's completely incredible that you'd be able to hang something so intensely heavy on it. Think bookcase, really. It's no longer a door. So if you were doing something that was, it's just crazy. You can get away hanging that with just 4 of those Soss 218s. That's really what it is. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. Those hinges are loved because they're concealed, because they're elegant, and because they can do the job that hinges really cannot approach. Sure, at that point, you get out to a few hundred pounds, you should be considering pivots. But Soss allows you to do it in such a way that you don't compromise some of the other requirements of a door. A Soss will behave like an offset hung door, even though the vertical axis of pivoting kind of floats as the door opens. It doesn't require that you have a bull-nosed style or a radius style like you would with a center hung pivot if the goal was to conceal the hardware. And while the Soss hinge may complicate other pieces of hardware, and the example that comes to mind is templating for overhead stops and using Soss hinges, because that vertical axis of pivoting floats, it moves. It's not fixed like there is on a hinge or a pivot, offset pivot. But that can all be accounted for. The availability of all the common finishes and very odd finishes as well is something that Soss all but encourages that you request from them. Anyway, commercial about Soss is over. If you have any questions on the Soss MDHCUS26D in an HS capacity in a satin chrome finish or any other Soss product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.